And action! Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Filmmakers Podcast. This is a podcast where we talk
filmmaking. From
indie film to studio films to high-end TV to documentaries and everything.
Is there anything in between?
I don't think so.
I think that's everything. Yeah.
I think that is everything. How to get them made, how to make them, and how to try not to
royally F them up.
In our very, very humble opinion. I'm Giles Alderson. I'm a writer, director, and a producer.
I am Dom Lenoir, and I am all of those things.
And more.
I was like, if I say and more, I'll come off like a proper arsehole.
Yeah, no, that's why I said it. Save your blushes.
But I left the gap.
Yeah, you left a gap for someone. Please, someone speak. Please, someone say something. It's only me here. Welcome to the show. Thank you for listening. Today's episode is with the cast behind the brand new TV series, Dune, or as its full title is Dune Prophecy, which is super exciting. We have the cast, which includes Emily Watson, Olivia Williams, Travis Fimmel, Jodhi May, Chris Mason, and Sarah-Sofie Boussnina. Oh, yes, we do. We split this up into 3 parts, and we're going to work out in a minute who we're going to start with.
3 lovely filmed episodes.
Yes, and they were filmed as well, so should be on our YouTube channel very soon. So yeah, look out for that. But in the meantime, Dom, tell everyone what Dune is about, Dune Prophecy.
So Dune Prophecy is set 10,000 years before Dune. And it is about the creation of the sister advisors that are behind all of the major houses and the Atreides and Harkonnen rivalries and some of these big threads that lead to the events of spice wars happening in the Dune films many years later.
Yes.
So it's like Game of Thrones in space, really. It's political maneuvering and smart conversations.
The series stars, apart from the people we've mentioned, also stars Mark Strong, friend of the podcast and amazing actor as well. He is Emperor Javico Carino. How amazing. Who should we start with? Let's start with Emily and Olivia. They were fun. They were. Emily Watson and Olivia Williams, brilliant actresses who've been working in this industry for years, and me and Dom had such a laugh with them. They were really friendly to us. It was our last interview of the day, and I think they just maybe let loose a bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. Olivia Williams has starred in An Education, Rushmore, The Sixth Sense, X-Men: The Last Stand, just to name a few. And Emily Watson has starred Oscar winning for Breaking the Waves, and she was also in Punch Drunk Love and Gosforth Park.
And let's not forget Small Things Like These, which is this year's Oscar contenders, with Cillian Murphy also starring. Made a very funny joke about nuns in the episode you can enjoy.
Yes, you did. What do we talk about with Emily and Olivia?
We talked about playing a different aged character in a later version of a story, which both of them do. We talked about crossing paths, but this being their first collaboration together as collaborators and sisters, looking after each other on set and finding your center of calm. And lastly, making sure acting isn't a competitive sport.
And we did all that, like I say, by having a really lovely chat. And if you listened to last week's episode and you heard about Dom's heroics, blood on the trousers, or you don't know what happened, he did spill the beans or spill the blood to Olivia Williams and Emily Watson. They asked. I mean, kind of all of them asked, because he's there with blood on his white.
Blood all over me.
Blood all
but
over
this
him.
one, so, they were recording.
So we got it in there. They recorded this bit.
Yeah. We did it on one of the other interviews, and then they got to the end of the story. They're like, recording.
I know. It's like, oh, really?
Thanks,
that was a great story. Yeah, thanks for that, guys. Really appreciate it. So yes, you get to hear that as well. So we won't spoil that for you now.
I think we're friends with these two now. I think we're friends.
I think so too. Yeah. I think we could go out.
Fast friends.
I think they could. Yeah, fast friends now. Yeah, absolutely. When we see them again, looking forward to that. Speaking of which, myself and Dom went to the Wicked premiere last night. We will be interviewing John M. Cho about directing that movie. And we get invited to some of these things sometimes. It's very nice.
Oh, it's lovely, yeah.
It's not like we're showing off.
Yeah.
It's just, we put the effort in for this podcast. Occasionally you get lovely rewards like that.
I do feel like it's I mean, reward is one way. It's almost like it's a kind of it's a reparation for all the pain and suffering in these, in the process of getting films made, is that you get to actually be part of these great shows and films that you love, and you get to meet awesome people.
Yeah.
I had a great one at the Nosferatu premiere the other day. Met Hayley Atwell, which is pretty cool. Got my picture taken.
Yep, Mission Impossible.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't wait for 8. I cannot wait for it. I'm super excited. Hopefully we'll get Christopher McQuarrie back on for that. But we do have another super exciting guest, or 2 of them, coming up very soon as well. It is Richard Linklater and Glenn Powell.
So you'll have to click the link later.
Oh, Jesus. Yes, you will. So that's coming up for you very soon. Right now, though, let's get into it with Emily Watson and Olivia Williams. We will play the trailer first. This is Dune Prophecy trailer. Other side of that, it's myself and Dom chatting to Emily and Olivia. We'll see you at the other side of that.
The sisterhood draws women from many worlds to advance our species and govern the future. The Imperium is fragile. The great houses fight for control. Now is the time to secure the throne and protect the Imperium.
This endangers everything. There are secrets we have gone to great lengths to keep.
The Imperium is a circus of fear and rumor. I'm surrounded by vipers. If I lose control of Arrakis, the great houses would feed me to the worm.
Your Majesty, the troubles are far greater than just Arrakis. There's a war hidden in plain sight. I'm the only one that can tell you the truth.
What do you want?
To wipe out every trace of the sisters from our worlds. That is why I've been gifted a great power.
Consider me a true believer.
We've never seen a force like this. This could destroy the Imperium. We must act.
I see the corruption in your heart. Same way I see the blood trailing your every step.
Take out your blade.
This is madness.
The reckoning is here.
I run a school for young women. We're not a threat to anyone.
Olivia. Hi.
Dom and Giles, which one are you?
Hello.
We were going to play that game, actually.
Okay, we'll guess.
Which one's which?
Oh, here we go.
Dom.
Yes.
Oh, on screen, we should have caught that. Were you filming?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great game show to start off with.
Do you know what? I'm wearing a white top tonight, and I thought, don't eat the spaghetti bolognese, but you did.
So I'm actually not wearing spaghetti bolognese. This is a man's blood.
Wow.
Which is an exciting story to start
Is
with.
it his blood?
It's sadly it's not.
We
which
had a
might
bit of
be
a
nice
Harkonnen blood.
Yeah, excellent. No, we wanted to be Atreides.
Atreides blood. Sorry.
You can't believe-
Schoolboy.
Don't say that.
There was a guy on the escalator this morning.
Yeah.
Fell down, hit his head. An older gentleman, and he's going up the escalator, and I'm going down.
Oh, God.
And there's someone screaming, and then I got to the bottom. I'm like, oh, hang on, what happened when he gets to the top? So I had to run up the escalator, hoik him up onto sitting position, and then upwards, and he trundled off, and he was fine in the end. But here I am
I
after
love
deciding
you.
on the
You're
white.
heroic.
the
You're
white
actually
canvas.
the person who sees something going wrong and does something about it.
Well, there was another guy just standing there, and then
Watching.
the guy from TFL was just at the top, like just casually waiting for me to hand him the person.
And yet Dom's got that, and we're going to a premiere
Yeah, we're
tonight.
going to- yeah.
Well, screening.
Well,
Do you know what? I thought you were like Cheddar and had come in costume, so there you go.
yeah.
There we go.
There we go.
Thank you for the effort you made on behalf of society.
Yes, it did. And the
You're
man
most
was okay.
welcome.
And the
Yeah,
man was
he
okay.
was okay,
It was
yeah.
okay, so
Yeah.
that's all right.
Yeah.
How are you, anyway?
Yeah.
You all right?
You know what? You are our last interview of the entire thing.
That's what someone else said,
It's
yeah.
Wow.
a sort of surge of joy
Yeah,
and relief.
yeah.
Okay.
You are the
We
height
are
of the
the relief.
pinnacle. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. We've got
Comic relief, maybe.
It's very nice that you're here.
And
Yes.
Yeah, and congratulations on small things like these. Just briefly, I did say hello to you at the premiere. I probably said something memorable like "well done."
I think it was well done, though. That was sincere.
It was.
Well
He
done.
meant it.
Thank you very much.
From sister to space sister
Yes.
that you are now.
Good segue.
And sisters as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
There we go.
Working
That's
out.
great. Sister.
Incredible.
That's all I've got. You start.
Sisters
Oh,
in the
I-
hood.
Yeah, Sisters in the Hood. Have you worked together before? We were trying to work this out.
It's a good question.
Thank you,
Thereby
finally.
hangs a tale.
Yes.
We have known each other for decades. We were at the Royal Shakespeare Company together
At the same time.
in the 90s.
But in the same place?
Never.
There we go.
We were
Like
both in Anna Karenina, but never in the same scene.
Because two 50-year-old women don't speak to each other.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Until now.
Right?
so many people have asked us that question, and we've been sort of saying, well, show us the script where that exists. Well,
Until
it
now.
does. I mean, it does occasionally, but leading an HBO, Sky, Max,
Now.
series,
Yeah.
Not a small
you
deal.
know, not a small deal.
No.
Feels like a
How was
Bit
it
of a
that
moment.
first moment getting eyes on the script? And I mean, did you know that each other were cast at that moment?
Well, actually, it was sort of the other way around. I was very late to the show, and the first I knew of it was our agent ringing up and saying, "Do you want to be in a show with Emily?" The answer to which was, of course, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yes.
But you were already on board.
I was already on board, but a thrilling kind of moment for us to actually properly cross paths and have this delicious acting dish to just start to chow down on. I mean, really properly grown up, complex, mad, powerful,
Super
Vengeful.
powerful.
super bad, vengeful, rage-filled. Yeah.
Secrets and lies.
Yes.
We know Mark Strong really well, and he had nothing but good things to constantly say about the two of you. I said I was
okay.
speaking to you.
Well, we've had many
History.
relationships.
We have history with Mark.
Yes, I know.
Yes. So
Yeah.
Mark and I
Good
were
history.
in Uncle Vanya and Twelfth Night back in 2001.
Yep.
And I was just saying earlier, I was Sonia to his Astrov, and every night he didn't fall in love with me. He fell in love with Helen McCrory.
How dare he?
How dare he?
Yes.
But revenge is a dish best served
It is.
Yeah.
cold.
Yes,
Yeah.
which is what
Yeah.
you're
Which
doing
is really-
now.
Valia's forte.
And in true Tula style, I fell madly in love with him as he was Mr. Knightley to my Jane Fairfax.
Oh, I like that reference.
lovely.
Very nice.
But, he didn't know what he was marrying, clearly. We've got, Jane
Yes.
Fairfax Part 2,
Yes.
The Revenge.
The bonnets and the corsets are gone.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah.
And now
You got
it's
space corsets.
Well, a habit come pantsuit, which it's the
Habitant
sort of
suit.
Yeah, you're gonna-
habitant suit.
habitant suit. Not going to make a habit of
can do
saying
that one,
that.
yeah.
No, I
It's
wouldn't.
like
Yeah.
quick.
It is, it's
Cloak
quick.
and a
I
veil.
do puns, yeah.
Jordan would call it my bat suit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay,
That's also a
yeah,
good one. Yeah.
yeah.
On episode 2, I don the full public gaze of the sisterhood, and so it was very powerful.
Very.
So let's talk about working together, how those scenes kind of worked, and also about your younger selves, because I mean, the casting was brilliant for both
yeah.
of you.
Amazing.
I mean, actually,
Really.
almost like, how is this not your daughter or
Do you know
granddaughter?
what? Weird connections, though, if you like that.
Okay, yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
The movie Hannah.
Yes.
Yes.
that's
Jessica
the movie, Hannah.
Bardem.
Yes.
My
Jessica
daughter.
Bardem.
So in a way, she's my niece. In a way, she's my... Anyway, we're related. She's just had her second baby, and I consider myself, in some strange way, the grandmother.
Oh,
Anyway,
interesting.
in real
That's-
life.
But she is such a bold and fierce young woman in real life, anyway, in a fantastic way. But she brought something to that, and I feel like Valia is that bold, fierce, but very vulnerable and raw because she's so damaged they've been so vilified and so they've been banished, and they've been this whole lie has been created about their history by the Atreides. And
sorry, have you lost your train of thought?
No.
She's coming back. We got it.
But she is then comes into contact with this cult, and the leader of the cult, who is very charismatic, says to her, "I see you. You're very powerful. You're very special. Come with me, and we will shape the history of humankind." And that's a very, very, very dangerous thing to do to a damaged person. And
30 years later, there you are.
Some
Channeled
bad
anger.
shit goes down.
Yeah. When you're like looking for a project, and let's say Dune, here it was, you want to work with Emily. In terms of general projects, what do you look for? Maybe this is a Dune-related conversation. Is it the director?
Well, Emily
is it the
had this
script?
brilliant description this morning, which I'm going to steal now, which is that being an actor, it's like waiting in a cab rank. That, you basically just stand and wait, and which cab and which customer meet up is its chance, know.
You can say no to one or two, maybe.
Really?
But
I've never been in that cab rank.
but after a while,
You might get run over.
Or you might not get a ride home.
Yes.
You're walking home,
Yeah. Okay, but in terms of like directors, it's a great analogy and we'll like it. We'll steal it, thank you. But in terms of, say, directors, or is it, we were talking about letters earlier, or someone might present something. Is that something you look for, especially when something bigger or
I'm
something?
always cynic. Can you give them a serious answer? Because I just...
Okay.
Oh, go on, give us a cynic first and then we'll have serious.
Silly one first.
Silly one first.
Well, I had an agent, an LA agent, who used to go,
LA
money,
Yeah.
location, co-star.
Oh, so that
Those
way
are the-
around.
And you need 2 out of 3.
Okay.
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 That's good.
Emily?
Yeah.
No script. Note
No,
the
there was
agent
no
saying
script there.
nothing to do
Oh,
with
yes.
I find however many attractive elements there are to something, be it co-star or
Location
money
or
or
money.
location or money, if I don't believe it, if I don't believe the script, I'm like, so sorry, it just doesn't smell right. I can't do it.
Right.
So do the letters actually work? Do you read the letter to hear about all that stuff, or like pitch decks, or
The
is
letter?
it?
Yeah, from the director.
Director
Oh, a
letter
letter
to,
saying-
letter.
Well, no, but those letters, I tell you a thing about...
They just go in like
The letter that's-
Santa's fire.
No, but there's the letter that says, your work is so incredible in...
Yeah.
And then they've copied and pasted.
Yeah.
But because
The print is slightly different.
You know that this letter has gone to like at least half a dozen actresses before you.
And actually, I've had they've put the wrong name in there. But no, it did take me a while because I don't get those letters all the time. But no, the serious answer is usually there will be a phrase, and it can just be a phrase that rings true, be it, don't leave me, or I love you, well placed, or something.
Don't leave me.
Sadly,
Yeah, don't leave me.
have I just given away something about my true self? But if there is something that rings true, and there was just scene after scene that played itself for me in this.
Yes.
With Emily, with Chloe Lee, who plays, their sister Lila, and this, I loved working with Barbara, sister Avila, and we had some great stuff where it was just this scene acts itself.
Right.
Yes, absolutely. And Olivia and I having our, we just have we have a shared history in terms of just our theatre background and just the way approach to text and approach to story, and the muscle that you need to find to tell those kind of stories that are complex and yet hidden. And I loved as well going back into Bat with Mark. That it
he
felt
said
like
that too.
old friend, and we had such a lovely time as well, just kind of because we were all away from home in Budapest, just having dinners. And I tell you who else was amazing, Taboo. She is such a beautiful person, and obviously physically incredible, but we had times where we went out to, I think we had a dinner with Jodhi and maybe Kathy Tyson, and we all just sat around and we were grilling each other on what are the things that really annoy you about the industry and the kind of Bollywood and our world. It's all the same things, and we just laughed and laughed and laughed. It was truly delightful to spend time
Magical
with her.
experience.
We don't have the theory coming from the theatre, but acting isn't such a sort of competitive sport in theatre. It's more of a collaboration and a company. And, we first met at the Royal Shakespeare Company, and the word company is very importantly applied here. This, for all the TV shows I've done, had a wonderful company, and the day would begin in the makeup truck with the brilliant Kate, who was our makeup, Kate Benton, the hair and makeup designer. And that atmosphere goes onto the set, and it goes into the show, and it goes into the product. Even if you're playing enemies, Emily and Olivia love each other, but, Tula and Valia maybe not so much.
and also passing on skills to the younger actors that are, not necessarily acting skills because they didn't need that, but
Coping skills.
How to be on a television set where everything moves so quickly and you think you've got your moment coming in, and it's gone, and sort of trying to help people find their center and be calm and be present and be, looking after each other and still find the creativity in it when it's really feels like it's slipping out of your fingers. Those are all skills that you acquire with time. And if you have somebody, and I have to say that's something that's changed. I don't feel necessarily that there's been in film and television before, it's a changing landscape that it didn't used to be so much. Actually, no, that's bollocks.
It's always been tough.
No, I've had incredible experiences of people mentoring me and showing me.
It is incredibly important to have that support because it's a very difficult industry to be in.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are struggling to get breaks, and it's great if you can get that back.
And make sure that everybody in the scene gets their moment, gets their close up, gets their turnaround. And sometimes, as the senior person in the scene, you have to say, have we covered this?
Yeah,
that's good.
Because there was a lot of chaos occasionally.
I think we have to wrap up. We're going to get in trouble. We would love to keep
but we love talking to you.
Yeah, you're amazing.
Chatting to you as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for the very empathy-filled answers that were very much appreciated.
I think I was. I don't know what to say to that.
You were a hero in their eyes. Olivia's face, by the way, you can see this on the video.
It's nice to be appreciated, and I think at the end of the day, what it really came down to with this interview is just talking about. I mean, at the end of the interview, like the bit I really liked, and I think that maybe that sums up the sort of events of the day. Is just it's an industry where you can help people out, you can be supportive. It's not it's not a cutthroat world. So if you can do a little good deed here and there, then that goes a long way. So it was nice to hear that for sure.
Yes, and we got a photo with them as well, and they were just very, very lovely with us. So you can see that on our socials, but also you can see the video on our YouTube channel. Just search the Filmmakers Podcast and find the YouTube channel somehow. It's quite easy. You've probably all been on YouTube before. You've probably all seen the search bar. Mm-hmm. I'm sure you know what to do. Let's get to our next guests. Chris Mason and Sarah-Sofie Boussnina. They are also the stars of Dune Prophecy, which is what this episode is all about. Dune Prophecy, which is out now, by the way, on Sky and HBO Max. Go watch it. It's brilliant. Chris Mason, he has starred in TV series Broadchurch, Riverdale and Dirty John, and he was in a movie with me, which we touch on very slightly in the episode. We didn't want to go into it too much because we've got better things to talk about. We were in a movie together called Between Two Worlds. It was one of my last sort of acting jobs that I did. I helped out a friend, Pete Gibbons, and so I got to meet him then, which is really cool. So it was nice to see him again.
It's very cool.
It's a lovely, lovely guy. And then Sarah-Sofie Boussnina. She has starred in Nightfall and The Bridge, as well as Ross Clark's movie Birdcatcher. Ross Clark, friend of the podcast, has been on the show. So do check out that if you want to hear more about how that was made. What do we talk about with Chris and Sarah-Sofie, Dom?
We talk about getting that life-changing casting call and what Chris was doing at the time.
Yes.
We talk about the challenges of physical combat training and jumping onto such a huge Huge show.
Yes, we do. We should mention who some of the showrunners are. We do talk about them a little bit with interviews you probably noticed already, and we do again further on. The showrunner is Alison Shapka. She is behind huge hits such as Lost, Alias, and Almost Human. So she's the showrunner on this. The directors are Anna Forster, John Cameron, and Richard J. Lewis. The producers are Brian H. Carroll and Alison Shapka, and its cinematographers are Pierre Gill, Richard Donnelly, Nicholas Samura. I didn't mumble that. That is his name. And the casting directors are Julie Harkin and Nathan Toth.
Julie Harkinen.
Yeah, right? It should be.
I mean, I don't know. If she's listening to this, she should definitely change her name. That's all I'm saying.
Do you think?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Harkin.
Yeah.
She's the casting director of I May Destroy You and Industry.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go. And Nathan did Blade Runner 2099. And A Gentleman in Moscow, which Sam Miller directed. Right, anyway, let's get to this part. This is our chat with Chris Mason and Sarah-Sofie Boussnina.
We gather here tonight to bring women back to their rightful place.
The Testaments, a new Hulu original series from the executive producers of The Handmaid's Tale.
It's easier to accept a story than believe that the people around you are monsters.
The battle isn't over.
There comes a time when you have to take action, when you have to choose your own destiny.
Never quite as it seems. Watch the new Hulu original series, The Testaments, streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers. Terms apply.
Lovely to see you. You all right?
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah, really nice to see you. My friend directed you in The Birdcatcher.
Oh, Ross.
Yeah.
Oh.
Such a good film. You were brilliant in it.
I wanted to see him this time, but I'm only here till like tomorrow morning.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Can't squeeze it in, but yeah, well done. Well done on this. Dune, right? What fun. How was that moment when you got the call up to say, hey, would you be interested?
I think I was changing my son's nappy at the time.
Oh, yeah.
No, my daughter's it would have been.
Right.
Yeah, because my son wasn't even born, which is crazy to think of. That was like 2 years ago. But I got the call and it was kind of one of them, I'm going to have to go take this, And didn't really expect it because I hadn't done a bunch of callbacks or anything. It was kind of just a tape that went off and yeah, got the call and then came back into the room white as a sheet,
Wow.
Booked it and it was celebrations, and then you have the excitement of I'm going to be in Dune to the nerves of I'm going to be in Dune. So it was a bit of a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the same. I mean, I had almost just seen Dune Part 1, Denis Villeneuve, and was blown away by it. So and when I auditioned, I didn't even know it was for Dune. I found out before a meeting I had with the creators of the show, and that's when I read the first episode and was just blown away by that as well. And I was so intrigued with Rebecca Ferguson's character, Lady Jessica, in the film. I mean, amazing actress. So to be part of the origin story of the Bene Gesserit was so cool, and just the way it was written, I was just. Yeah, we're very lucky with the script.
What did they call it? What was it? Was it yours? Did you know it was Dune when you
So I don't know what, I forget what it was. It was like Untitled it came through as, which is the usual thing.
And they said it was
the
TV
characters
show,
were,
right?
Yeah, it weren't any sandworms or anything like distinguishing. No spies, no sandworms.
I auditioned for a different character first, and I forget, one of the names was like Dimitri. And I was like, all right, Dimitri, what are we doing? And then the callback came for a different character, and he was like Alexander, and you're like, Alexander. And then it was only like 2 days before I booked it, I got a text saying, it's Dune, by the way. And I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
And then 2 days later, so it was a bit of a headbender.
Yeah, literally, like the series is a headbender.
Yeah.
Did you have to like suddenly then go, right, I need to now look through all the books and the whole sort of...
Well, I mean, because the timeline is so far away from
10,000 years,
exactly.
right? They say,
yeah.
Give or take.
10,000 years and change.
So I love the film. So like in terms of tone and like just enjoying them, being a fan of them, I watch them again. But a lot of it, because of the scripts, are so well written. So a lot of it for me was on the page and through conversations with Alison Shapka, who knows everything about Dune.
Yeah. And where we take place is, right after this kind of Dune the Sisterhood book.
Yeah, I read
So it was
that
great to be able to go back to there, and that's got so much like history that informs a lot of our characters and family.
Yeah.
So it was important to separate the movie and the, you know, and be like, hey, great movie, but we're doing something very different and fresh.
Yeah.
So what was that kind of formative moment when you were discussing the, you know, the mythology and the characters and the script, and that first sort of moment, okay, I'm doing an HBO show. What, you know, what's on the page? What do I want to bring, you know, as my own sort of personalizations?
Yeah,
go on ahead.
Yeah, well, I felt like the way that the characters are written are so like you really, they're very different, but you get to see so many different sides to every one of them. So I feel like so much just in that and through conversations. If we had any questions about backstory or about the family's backstory, Alison Shapko, you know, was always there to answer any of our questions. But it was also kind of cool to create an original character that still feels
very much part of the lore already. You know, I think for me there was a moment of doing all the work. Finally comes to, we've been there a month. We've been doing the sword training and stuff. Finally get to my first scene, and you turn up to set and go, oh, okay, this is it. This is where whatever I do now becomes part of my character forever. And that nerves in before, and Alison would always make an effort to come to set for anyone's first day. And I kind of had to have that moment of like, hey, look, this way I'm going with the character. And we'd spoken about it before, but you have that nervous, we're sure? And she's like, it's going to be great. And then you get your first couple of takes out and you start to go and you gauge director reaction and stuff and you go, okay. And then, you know, in contrast, by the end of film and you turn up and you're like, I know where I am.
You've got your character. It's that whole arc.
I think getting over that first hurdle is always interesting in any job, but this one especially.
What about working with the different directors then? Because it's something, you know, as actors you have to deal with all the time. It's like it's a new director on a different block, or you might be moving blocks throughout the shooting. How do you manage that? Is it kind of, because it's like you said, by the end, it's your character, you're in there. What's the process? Is there a process for you on that?
Because of the way we shot, because there was like the strikes and stuff happening, we had a lot of kind of a few days where you would turn up and have one director in the morning, a different director in the afternoon, and another director in the evening, which I've never done, and I think that's super rare. So you would just have to, you know, obviously you've done your work on your script, so you know where you are. And we were so lucky with the directors.
So nice,
They're all very different. Kind of alarmingly different in their own ways, but all so nice and so forthcoming and really collaborative. And it felt seamless considering it was such a big change.
Well, what is the process for like talking to directors? Do you get much time to sort of discuss with each one? I mean, not in this case, but in general, do you get to have many sort of conversations beforehand, or is it more through Alison?
I think on this one, like, you know, I mean, we're so lucky that Alison always made herself available, and she again, like, she's such a fan of Dune and loves Dune and knows everything about it. So, like, to have her available for conversations was such a gift. And then we actually got to have rehearsals as well with her and the directors. And
sometimes
Jordan.
It would work out where miraculously there was time for one director and you were able to go and rehearse those scenes. We had a couple of good rehearsals together, you know, so it was... we got lucky with that. So.
Especially for like the big setups, because like there's one scene that took us 4 days filming, which is a huge, like a lance rod scene with a lot of people in it, and so it was.
Richard Lewis was the director for that, and I've never seen anyone so prepared for something. Like he came in and he just years of experience right there. It was amazing.
That must have been interesting to watch. You know?
It really was.
Yeah, because you've both done like indie films as well, and the difference, and obviously we worked together on indie film, and the difference between that and then seeing, you know, like you said, Richard come along with this sort of full
storyboards, big panels, like everything was laid out. Talk to everyone. You know, this scene is like got to be like 5 or 6 main characters all meet head on in a big train crash of everything happening in one big room with 250 extras. You know, so. There was a lot.
And a humble set as well.
Exactly. Yeah, super humble. So, it was. I remember, you know, hats off to Richard and his team for how they did that and did it efficiently and did it on time, and it looks great as well.
It's one of my favorite scenes in the show.
Amazing.
Just any moments that were particularly challenging or tough overall.
Well, I think a challenge, but it was also like, but it was a fun challenge, was definitely the physicality of the job. You know,
any fight scenes. We had a lot. We had a good couple together. I think the work you put in any day you're not filming, you stunt training, and we did so much of that together.
Yeah.
And then we get to set, and then your adrenaline kicks in.
Yeah.
And you almost have to pull yourself back because you don't want to go too fast and hurt anyone. So
yeah.
But we got it down in the end.
Yeah, and like the feeling afterwards where you're like, all of these hours, like in repetition, just like it paid off because we can actually do it now, you know, which was very nice.
I wouldn't duel either of you.
Oh, I'd be useless if you came at me with a sword now. I wouldn't know what to do.
Same.
Choreography is very different.
Exactly. Yeah. It's very
different. Depending on watching at home.
Exactly. And finally, just that little bit of advice of someone who's auditioning all the time. They're trying to find work. They're doing it, and then things that might work now. Looking back, you sort of go, okay, that will work.
Well, I think. It sounds so cliche, but I think. And it can be very hard because it is a tough industry, and just getting having work as an actor is a privilege, and so I think finding a way to have fun with it, because the best ideas, I think, and being in the moment is when you enjoy it, and relax, and that can be hard if you're at a period where you haven't worked for a while, or just, your self-esteem is low or whatever. But I think it's really important to rediscover your love for the craft. Mm-hmm. And figure out some way to like just have fun with it.
I think off the back of that, I got advice from an actor called Aidan Quinn. Yeah. Who's a phenomenal actor, and I got to work with him very closely for a while. And at the end of it, I said, you know me now, what's the piece of advice? And he said, just do everything. Do everything you can. A table read, poetry reading. If someone's doing a stand-up comedy night, go and see it, go and see stuff, read. And it stuck with me of like, you can never learn enough in this business. I'm sure even Emily and all those would say the same thing of like, you never stop learning. So you make an effort to go out and do those things, read a friend's script, write something, just try and do everything you can, because storytelling, it's never going to stop. It's always going to evolve, and there's always something to learn and something to gain from it. So that would be my piece.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Bye, Sarah-Sofie, Chris Mason. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love those two. Brilliant actors. It's so exciting to see young up-and-comers like that who've been working in this industry for a while get a big break like this.
So young, so up-and-coming.
Yeah, they are absolutely brilliantly talented. So it's really lovely. So congrats, Chris. Congrats, Sarah-Sofie. Just excellent work.
And it's great, isn't it, that this show has, and I think that's becoming like, it's not a new thing at all, but I love the sort of the diversity of age that you get in these like clever shows with decent streamers. You have the kind of the really young characters, the middle-aged characters, and then the wise characters, and then all the sort of gamuts in between. And it's nice because you get to get those different perspectives and strengths and how people are centered themselves at those different points in their lives.
Yeah, totally agree. So it's really nice to chat to them on their way, on their absolute, now they're hitting that top spot. Good for them. It's exciting. Next and last is Travis Fimmel and Jodhi May. Travis has starred in Warcraft, Vikings, Lean on Pete, Finding Steve McQueen, and Jodhi May, she is known for A World Apart, Last of the Mohicans, that she was in when she was very small. I don't know, small is maybe when she was very young, shall we say. She's also starred in The Escapist, Flashbacks of a Fool, I, Anna, Let Me Go, and The Silent Twins a couple of years ago. What do we talk about with Jodhi May and Travis Fimmel, Dom?
We talked about doing your own thing, when to approach an actor and when to let them do their thing. We also talked about how prepared you have to be when you're doing big scenes with lots of people involved, and you can't just keep pausing when there's 100 extras that are all in sequence. Not extras, supporting actors that are all part of the sequence.
Yes. Indeed. Jodhi, she was also in The Witcher, by the way, and she is directing coming up very soon. She's directed an episode of TV before, but she's directing her feature debut called Mooring.
We also talked about that.
Coming up. Very excited. We did. very briefly.
Fun fact: when I was watching Vikings, I was very invested in Travis's character as Ragnar Lothbrok, and when something happened to his character, it actually took me half of the next series to realise that the character wasn't coming back. Spoilers alert there for anyone that's no one that's not seen Vikings, but he's very good at creating very, very enigmatic and compelling characters that you are very supportive of.
Yeah, you root for him, don't you?
Harder in this one because he's got some villainous tendencies, but he also does manage to do it.
That's a real skill.
Yeah.
If you're playing a villain role, to still make people like you and want you to maybe succeed in some way, but maybe not in this case. But anyway, great. Well, let's get to that then. This is Travis Fimmel and Jodhi May talking to Giles Alderson and Dom Lenoir. Enjoy. This is exciting times, right?
Yeah.
What an amazing thing to be part of. What was the sort of inspiration for you guys to go, this is something I want to do?
Well, obviously it's a crazy world and a privilege to be part of the Dune universe, and but it was the scripts that attracted me. Very thought-provoking scripts. The characters have all got their own voices and a lot of hidden agendas, and just one big riddle for the audience to figure out with this amazing, spectacular backdrop of the Dune universe.
Yeah, I mean, I'd seen the David Lynch film when I was a kid, and I just thought it was amazing. And I just remember being so kind of enthralled by it, and it really captured my imagination. So I think if there's a kind of gold standard sci-fi, I think it's the Dune universe. You can't really get better than that, I don't think.
Yeah. And you're very different and opposing characters. You're a very destabilizing sort of influence, and you're almost a very stabilizing influence. What is it when you first look at the script and you sort of have to find those moments in the character that are likable and your own interpretations into the choices? Like, what were your sort of first impressions on what to do with them?
For a start, we were so lucky. The writers and creators were so collaborative and let you make some bold choices and that sort of stuff. My character, I like a lot of my characters are mystery, and it's a mystery in the scripts, and his future and the shows are a mystery. So I sort of lent into that and wanted to get into people's heads and try to disrupt their thoughts and have them guessing what I'm thinking all the time. And I don't know, I'm just out there to embarrass myself, probably.
Is that how you feel? Like you thought,
it's so embarrassing, mate. Look at that.
No, but I mean, in a way, that's a good point. You've got to sort of be prepared to take risks,
yeah.
And I think what's particularly interesting with these characters is they do always keep you guessing. And I mean, that's certainly true of your character. And I think, with my character, when we first meet her, she seems like almost a frustrated housewife. She's been sidelined. She's not being listened to. She's not being heard. She seems stabilizing. That's,
at first, I only watched the first 4 episodes.
Let's see. But I love that about Alison's writing. I love that these characters are so dynamic, and you don't know what you're getting. Certainly with Natalia, she's a dark horse, and she keeps her cards very close to her chest. And I think that's something that's interesting that we were able to sort of, drill into together as actors. That brought our characters together in a way.
And I think it's something you do very well in Vikings as well as this is having very difficult characters that intrinsically are doing some not great things and still being very likable on when you're watching as an audience, and still very engaging and sort of presenting that mystery. And your character, as you say, is keeping it very much under your chest for now. But I think there's development of that.
Yeah, I mean, I love that, and I don't know, I love that we have the freedom. I mean, I think, as you were saying, Travis, that we've really been given freedom as actors to kind of go, bring what you feel works most with this character. So there's a certain kind of freedom of invention that you get, and that I think you have to have, because there's so much pressure of expectation with characters. But to be given that kind of a blank slate to start with, I think, is it's incredibly freeing as actors. And I think, again, Emily sort of set the bar high for us because everything she does as an actor has so much truth and integrity. And I think that's where we felt we were, that in a way, this is different from your classic sci-fi, and that it feels sometimes more like a drama. It is about human relationships, and we were really able to explore that in so much detail, I think, as actors.
Well, even if it's in this massive world, but yet there's still smaller scenes, there's smaller emotions, and we connect to that massively. What's it like when you're working with different directors? You've got your sort of your arcs and your characters, and you're working on that sense, but then a new director will come in, or it's a new, especially because you both worked on TV series where that happens a lot. How do you work with that?
I think you get used to it, swapping directors.
Yeah.
And everybody's got their own way of working and their own, what they're good at. But everybody was such a nice director and great people to work with. The whole crew was really enjoyable.
They were, and I think what I really liked about this, especially seeing the first episode, is that it's brave enough to play scenes through silences and looks. And you look at, someone like Tarkovsky's Solaris, or Stalker, and there's so little dialogue. And so much is about looks and silences, and what is not said is as important as what is said. So I really love the fact that, it's been bold enough and brave enough to go into that territory. I mean, that scene between you and Mark is really interesting. You can literally see what's happening, in your minds, but there's very little that's said. And I think so much often in series is expositional, and thankfully this wasn't.
Yeah. And I think HBO are, in particular, are so good at doing those kind of shows as well, and complex writing.
Yeah.
How does it sort of work for the rehearsal process in this kind of thing? It's a very big production. You haven't always got that much time to plan through things. How is that for you?
I mean,
pretty limited on. Did we have? I can't remember.
I think it was all the scenes in the throne room that were really rehearsed, weren't they?
Oh,
It took almost 4 days to shoot them, and that.
Yeah, there was some big. It's funny, in the movies and that, the budgets are so big and get so much time. On a TV show, why it's such a great team effort, and you feel like a team afterwards, because we're really restricted on how much time we got. So there's some of the big scenes when there's a lot of extras, and it costs a lot of money to have a lot of actors and extras and actors there.
Mm-hmm.
So we rehearse some of the really big scenes and the world that we're in made it a lot easier, the sets that they built.
Immersive experience.
Yeah, I think those kind of set pieces in the throne room, there was a lot of coordination going on. There was a lot of choreography going on. And we had one, director, Richard, who I think really understood the theatricality of those scenes and of that space. And it was exciting because it feels like those scenes are really a crucible in which characters, they either crumble or they rise, So it was great to be able to explore those quite sort of almost Shakespearean themes in that space, I think. So on those days, it was great to have that time to be able to rehearse.
Yeah, it must have been. And on that, what do you look for from directors? Because you've done bits of directing in the past. Hopefully you're directing your feature coming up soon. What is it you look for in directors on set? Those moments when you might be struggling, or you've got to imagine something bigger. What do you want from directors?
I want to be left alone.
That's good, though. That's okay.
Yeah, I just want to make my own mistakes, Yeah. And I don't want to be able to. I want to blame myself for a shitty performance.
I don't think that's ever been the case.
Just the understanding of what you're trying to achieve, or to give you more time. And the best stuff when a director comes and says something out of the box, because 9 out of 10 directors will say exactly the same notes that you already know in your head. Yeah, that's how most people would do it, but I want to always be a bit different. So it's a director is willing to take risk and not scared of different choices.
Okay.
Yeah, I think when a director really trusts you to trust your own instinct as an actor, that's a great feeling. And if you've got good actors, you need to do that. And I also think the fact that on this, that it's sci-fi, I never felt that we were secondary to the concept. And I think, that can sometimes be the case on something that's this big. It never felt like that. It felt like, all the directors we had were equally as interested in performance. And I think when a director's really there to help you explore that, and also economy. I've noticed myself as a director, you overload an actor with notes.
Give them one note.
Give them one note, give them one word, let them discover something. It's so much more interesting, I think. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Jodhi.
Thank you.
Travis.
Absolute pleasure.
No worries.
Cheers.
Well, there we
Hey.
go.
There we have it. What a treat that was. That was the Dune Prophecy cast. Olivia Williams, Emily Watson, Chris Mason, Sarah-Sofie, Boussnina, and that was Travis Fimmel and Jodhi May there wrapping it up for us.
Dune and dusted.
Absolutely. It should have come out in June, shouldn't it? That would have been the prophecy I'd have made.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Thought my one was better, but I like June. That's a good.
No, that's good. I always thought the sequel to June should have been called July, but that's just me. I've done that gag before, but I'm doing it again. It's not like it.
And then the trilogy would be Djorgust. Just like when you used to say my name is DeJohn with a silent J.
Throwbacks there.
Anyone that remembers that episode.
That's what you're doing.
Anyone that remembers that one.
Writing on postcard, because that's how old you are.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. Really appreciate it. I hope you got a lot out of this.
And watching, perhaps, on this one.
Oh, perhaps watching. Like we say, these interviews are on YouTube.
Yeah. If you want to see our devilishly handsome faces.
If you want to see us mumbling through this and trying to get sensible questions out, it's always so daunting when you go into a room and there's cameras everywhere, and you literally get plonked in as well. It's not like it's take your time, get the tea, sit down. It's like you stood outside for 10 minutes waiting, which is the worst. And then you sort of get pushed in.
It is. It's like you were saying it's like an audition almost, because you've got the pressure cooker of waiting in the corridor, and then you walk in and it's like flashing lights. Everyone's like studio ready, and then you just got to sort of sit down and have a casual conversation. And then you never know when they're recording as well. So you're like you're trying to have a conversation, but you don't want to have a good conversation because
in case they're not recording. So it's this stilted, muffled, weird thing. And what's worse, when you're outside, you can slightly hear the other interview going on, and you think they're having a lot of fun there. It's the same as auditioning back when I did that. It was horrible.
Not our ones. No fun on our end.
No, not our ones. No,
not on our watch.
Not on our watch. Yeah, junkets are weird, man. We kind of doing them regularly now, but it's much nicer when you get to meet them beforehand. You proper sit and like, this is what we're going to do, and have a chat. Yeah, this is always a little bit more daunting.
I think it's quite hard doing like multi interviews as well. I find because it's like
back to back ones.
Yeah, it is. Being a double act makes things tricky.
Well, I think it's easier for us. We've certainly got used to that, but I think what you're saying there is it's difficult when you're interviewing two people rather than one. Because you've got to keep making sure that you're asking the person. You don't want to leave someone out. If you're having a good conversation here, you've got to kind of move on, because you go, oh well, we're not talking to the second person. So it's quite a tricky balance to do it.
I feel like when they go really well, it's because you've just had a nice chat. It's as simple as that. You've shared your excitement about stuff, and they've shared their excitement back, and that's sort of that connection. And the celebritydom and the interviewer disappears when you get those kind of connections, and that's
you do, and you just actually have a nice chat. I like those ones rather than searching for a question or trying to make something work. It's just so nice when it's relaxed. So
I mean, we've got a joyous occasion next week on the podcast.
Yes, we have. We're chatting to Joy director Ben Taylor as he talks about his latest movie, which is super exciting, which stars Thomasin McKenzie. Dom sits down, has a lovely chat.
Another one on camera, actually.
There you go. Yes, that'll be another one on our YouTube.
Yeah, so you get to see my mug again.
Yeah. You could always just skip through Dom's bits.
Yeah, well, it's just me.
Yeah, he's just
an empty reply that doesn't make any sense.
Ben's on Zoom.
Just get rid of the question.
No camera.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good one. We talked about our. We both had our sort of semi-winter boots on, and there was mutual boot admiration going on, which was very nice.
That is very nice. And then following that, we have Richard Linklater and Glenn Powell, the Superstars, director and superstar actor, talking about Hitman, which is a super movie. If you've not seen it, go watch it now. And then we've got Beckham Woods talking about Heretic. And then we've got Sarah Brocklehurst talking about The Outrun. Saoirse Ronan's amazing starring turn.
Or Sarah Brockleheimer, as I famously quoted the other week, which I thought was pretty good.
Very, very good. Yeah, very good. And then we've got, I think Dom's chatting to the team behind Skeleton Crew as well.
Yes.
Which is the new Star Wars series. And then we've got a Christmas special as well, which takes us all the way up to the new year.
And we got more in the new year as well.
Oh my God, doesn't stop.
We are unstoppable.
We're unstoppable. Okay, thank you so much for listening. Dune Prophecy is out now. Go watch it on your Skyboxes and on your HBO Maxes. It is brilliant. Thank you for the amazing cast for coming on. Olivia Williams, Emily Watson, Chris Mason, Sarah-Sofie Boussnina, Travis Fimmel, and Jodhi May. And a special thank you to Dom Lemoy for joining me in the junket.
Whoa. I thought you were joining me in the junket.
Thank you, me, for joining Dom in the junket halls of hell.
Putting the funkit into junket.
Who the funkit? Thanks, Dom.
Thanks, Charles.
See you next Tuesday, everyone. Bye for now.
Adios.